Hello, my name is Tamara and I'm from Ruskia Arts. I'm a South African artist living and working from Warsaw, Poland, and this is my channel. Theme music! Oh, this is so awesome, this channel, it's so cool. Today's a bit of a different one. I'm not showing you art exactly, but I'm showing you an exercise I do when I feel overwhelmed or have anxiety and I need to get it off my chest very quickly. To go straight to the how-to portion of this exercise, look for the chapter marker called Process. I also have a PDF which you can download to assist you with this exercise. You will find it on my website. In it, it has the process listed as well as more searching questions. It will ask you to subscribe, but you are more than welcome to not subscribe. There's an X on the box and just download the PDF. But of course, I would love if you subscribe to my mailing list if you haven't already, because I like sending emails. Before we get into it, some caveats and disclaimers. Not a doctor, not a therapist. This might not work for you, but it might be worth the try. When I have a lot of stuff weighing me down on my chest, which I cannot express or don't have the space to express, it affects me very quickly. I spiral, I have obsessive thoughts, and if it's a situation where I wasn't allowed to speak my truth, I start feeling physically, drama. When I have little time, or if I prefer to write instead of paint, or if I need an exercise with low barriers to entry, I do this exercise. It's a free flow writing exercise where you will be writing with a ballpoint pen on an A4 page. That's about it. Instead of writing like this though, boring, you write like that, around a block. So before we jump into it and how to do it, I would like to just explore why write. The purpose of writing here is a therapeutic one. It feels like the weight on your chest eases up a little bit as you create space for your feelings. It's also an exercise where there's no judgment as you write, so that helps you with the ease and with the space. Avoiding thoughts can make you feel worse, so this can provide you with some ease. I think I've said ease way too much already. Not acknowledging thoughts can make you feel shit. And while the thoughts might go away, the body kind of keeps count. So you might get to the end of the day feeling like shit and you don't know why because you never took the time to put the thought down, and this helps you not do that. So with that in mind, let's jump into the how of this exercise. My supplies for this exercise are an A4 sheet of copy paper and a ballpoint pen. I want to add a rectangle in the middle of the page, as central as possible. Within this, I'm going to write the subject of what's on my chest or mind, or simply write things on my chest. I say on my chest because personally, this is where I feel the weight of unsaid things or obsessive thoughts. For you, it could be on your mind or your shoulders. Then, holding the top corner of the page so I can rotate it as I write, I start writing in a free flow. That means I start with a sentence. I don't think too much and I try and avoid periods which end the sentence and thought and just keep writing. I enjoy the implied metaphor of this exercise. See, whenever I start, I write quite tightly. I find writing around the rectangle slightly irksome, but as I progress, my writing flows better. It becomes less tight, less legible, and the amount of space to write before I turn the page increases. And I feel that this is a good representation of what's going on in my mind or on my chest, or wherever you're holding your tension or your thoughts. You will see that I'm not writing in perfect lines. They're crooked, they overlap, they get progressively untidier, they do what they want. In this example, I made 2 periods. One was when I got distracted by a loud sound outside, and the other was when I truly felt that I exhausted what I was saying. Using a full stop, period, in your free flow writing can sometimes stop your thought or stop the flow of thoughts. It kind of ends the thought, and that means you have to either digest or process what you've just written. Whereas when it's free flow, there is no end and it feels like you can't remember the things that you started with. then that's why I advise trying to avoid full stops or periods as much as possible when you do this exercise. Once done, which is usually when I fill up the page as much as I can, I take a huge breath in and then I let it out, and I use the other pen to disconnect from the writing I've done and the charge of it all. I take my pen and I sweep through the pathways. I'm trying to go around each sentence. Sometimes I'm doubling lines, missing text. It's a mess. But the aim for me is to get lost more in the action of finding space and creating a long path. I also enjoy watching the line as I make it versus watching where the pen will go. Now that I've completed my task, it is time to trash it. Trashing it could mean tearing it, painting over it, or even burning it. I really hope you found this valuable. I was a little bit reluctant to do this video, even though this was an idea in my mind for a very long time, and that's because I felt like, who doesn't know that you should write things down, and if it's extremely negative or charged, you can just tear it up. But then I realized that I didn't know that. I only discovered this probably 2 years ago when I started doing some art courses. And before that, I would write, yes I would, but I would write when I had the time to write because it was a very difficult and long process, and I would save those things. And then I would end up reading them and judging what I wrote or reliving that entire experience because I didn't have an outlet for it. So there might be somebody, one person, no person, maybe me in the future if I watch this video again, that has not come into contact with this method or has forgotten this method. And I hope that you will find value in it. Please do all the things that people ask people to do. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, share it with your friends and families, share it with your enemies, get my dog some treats. What else do people ask for? I don't know, can you invite me to your birthday party? That would be really cool. I haven't gone to a birthday party in a very long time. Thank you for watching. Bye!